first thing you learn in any martial arts system is how to stand, or more correctly, how to set up your stance. You see, you can't really start moving until you know how to stand with balance, how to exercise power from your legs, how to hold your core. All of that comes into play, and it's no different in Wing Chun. So what I'm going to give you in the next couple of minutes is how to set up your stance. And this is just the basic training stance. This isn't really a stance you take for fighting. This is really more to develop structure and power. You know, it's like, well, it's kind of like the deadlift of martial arts. It's not that it's the most functional of all moves, it's more, though it is, and don't get me wrong, deadlifts are incredibly functional, but they're not working a specific athletic pattern so much as you are developing core and leg strength, as well as supplementary strength through the the arms and upper torso as well. So what I'm going to do is show you the form. I'm just going to back up a little bit so you can see me in the camera, and then I'll come back and talk because I don't have the microphone set up very well. So, okay, my Chinese is terrible, but setting up your stance, it's known as Hoi Ma. It just means setting up the stance. The stance we use in Wing Chun as our primary training stance is called Yi Chi Kim Young Ma, which means character 2 adduction stance. It's the character 2, short line, followed by a longer line, and it can refer to the short line between your knees and the longer line between your feet, and it can also refer to the slight pigeon toeing of the feet, where you have the short line between the toes and the longer line between the heels. So as you watch, I'll back up. You're gonna draw the hands up, actually up by the pecs. You're gonna soften the knees, and you're gonna do that all at once. So just here, and you're gonna spread your feet out, toes out, and then you're gonna pivot and settle in. Now once you settle in, you should be, while you're training, putting tension in through the adductors. That's why it's called the character 2 adduction stance. And you should be feeling the pressure, you should be feeling the ground on this part of the foot. It's right behind the ball of the foot, and it's more towards the big side, the inward side of the foot. It's actually a Qigong point, but more than that, it is your point of strong balance. If you look outside of the world of martial arts, outside of the world of Chinese tradition, you have to deal with balance in other ways. And in gymnastics and parkour, when you are landing from a big jump, you don't land on your heels, you land on the ball of the foot. You have to keep your calves and your Achilles engaged. That's what helps you maintain your balance. When you let those slack, you don't have the rigidity in the system, you don't have the spring in the system to deal with the shock and balance of it. So when you set up your stance, there's that, you saw that. And some systems will spread the heels first and then the toes and then the heels again. I think they do that for a more traditionally wider stance. We're not going for that in the Ip Man Samuel Kwok lineage. I mean, obviously it's up to you, but I feel that it is more than enough to do just the toes and then the heels. One last thing is you're creating a C curve in your spine. When I'm here, I'm not all, trying to flex out my chest. My shoulders are forward, my hips are forward, my butt's actually tucked underneath a little bit, my guts are pulled back. And you can mention a number of reasons for this, but what you're doing is by creating a C curve in the spine, you're relaxing and bringing your weapons forward, your hips and your shoulders. You're bringing your weapons forward and relaxed, ready for action, whereas you're pulling your vitals back. And this is important for your training, keeping relaxed and keeping protected at the same time. One last thing is the whole reason for the adduction. Not only is it for strengthening the internal legs, it's also for groin protection. We can't always be reaching down below our waist with our hands to protect our groin. Sometimes you have to protect your groin with your legs, with your knees. So having a quick response to tuck in the knees and pull it through, you're going to have much better success with more tools at your disposal. That's all I got for you for this 5-minute Kung Fu lesson. I will talk to you later. Good journey.